Many of us grew up watching the incredible potential of robots in movies and television. Robots showed us the brightest of futures and drove people like me to be part of the industry. However, today's robots have yet to catch up with our imaginations. Where are the robots that sci-fi promised? And how are we going to make those amazing robots a reality for everyone?
And to answer that, I'd like to introduce you to a friend of mine. This is Misty.
The simple-to-program robot specifically designed to enable anyone to accomplish everyday useful tasks in their homes and offices. Her story begins roughly 40 years ago at a time when hardly anyone knew what a computer was, let alone what to do with one. It took the creation of the first stable hardware platforms to evolve the industry, giving developers a place to build the applications that would ultimately make computers essential to everyone. Smartphones have nearly the same story. Great tech, but they were closed and difficult to develop for. Adoption was slow until developers were provided an open platform for creating and sharing apps. Now we can't live without them. The robotics industry is no different. In order to reach its potential, developers need a stable and open platform to make robots useful for everyone. I believe this is what is missing. That stable platform doesn't exist.
Until now.
Our goal at Misty is to solve the hardest problem facing our industry.
Building a baseline robotics platform that makes programming robots easier. Even if you've never worked with robots before, you'll be programming within minutes, creating new skills for Misty and sharing them with the world.
The problem with robotics is that there is no existing home robot that anybody can modify. Misty's addressing that issue by building essentially the canonical robot platform.
So instead of thinking about how do I make it do this thing, they can think a little bit more about what is it that I want it to actually do? Applying this to problems that may seem ordinary and everyday, but it's your problem, it's your day, it's your life.
Misty's skills can be anything. They can be created in software, they can be hardware-based, or they can be a combination of the two. Let's say you're having some friends over.
Welcome to the party.
You can program Misty to detect their faces and use text-to-speech to greet them. On the hardware side, you might want Misty to deliver drinks to your friends. You could 3D print a custom drink holder accessory and then have her follow a delivery route from the floor plan she generated of your home. And Misty will automatically charge herself when the night is over. I've been making robots since I was 12. You could call it an obsession. I met most of my friends online and at robotics conferences. It's all I wanted to do. When Adam Wilson and I created Sphero, we never imagined we'd get to work on Star Wars, but that's exactly what happened. Suddenly, we were learning from the masters at Disney, at Lucasfilm, about story, about character, and imbuing robots with personality. Our main goal is to provide the most stable platform for developers to build on with the latest and greatest features available, like room mapping, object recognition, face detection, capacitive touch, voice recognition, path planning, and automatic charging. These are just a few of the things that Misty can do right out of the box.
When you have all of these things coming together, artificial intelligence, you've got microcontrollers that are getting cheaper, it just seems like the perfect storm for all that to come together into something that's embodied, something that's physical. What our community is really asking for is a system that just works, and that's what Misty's going to deliver. So for anybody that's interested in robotics, might be concerned that they don't have the skill set or they don't have the abilities, throw that out the window. If you have any ability with programming or being able to do a website, this is the platform for you.
People like you will be the disruptors of industry. Entertainment, healthcare, security, education, retail, home automation, elder care, personal assistance, anything.
Misty can already do a lot, and she's designed for expandability. Solve the problems that matter to you, and share those solutions with other members of the community. You're ready to get started, aren't you? Okay, see you later. Robots hold infinite promise, but nobody can build the future alone. We have to do it together. Misty is the next step. What else can she do? I can't wait to find out. So, what will you build?
You're looking into the eyes of a robot, and he's looking back at you. He's curious about who you are and what you're up to. This is Vector. This is a video about Vector. He's a new creation from Anki.
He is a character, a robot that is meant to live in your home. He's always on, he's alive.
The idea is really that Vector becomes part of the family or that home, both on the emotional character side, but then also on the utility side.
Vector is really the first robot that uses advanced deep neural networks to do a lot of perception and understanding of the world around him.
What he does feels intentional. He can react to inputs in his environment and his life.
We generally want to find one defining feature and then build from that. For Vector, curiosity was a big one.
What they're saying is you officially live in a time when robot sidekicks are a real thing.
Hey, Vector, give me a fist bump.
It's a step closer to that sci-fi robot, that everyone wants to be friends with.
That step closer means you've got a robot in your house waiting for you to get home. Autonomous like a Mars rover, aware enough to avoid falls like a tightrope walker, ooh, and always excited to welcome you home like a loyal companion.
What's up, Vector?
Jason.
Vector's no slouch roommate either. He's happiest when he's helping out. Ask him the weather, and he'll show you. He can set a timer and cause a commotion when it's finished. Activate robot alarm. And he can connect his robot brain to the internet to answer your questions.
Definition of life, the characteristic state in the world of living.
He's a little robot who brings a lot to your house. He's also a little robot with nearly 700 parts. That one right there, that's his soul part. Okay, I made that one up, but the little guy's got soul. Let's get someone in here to tell him what all this stuff actually does. How does he hear?
Vector has a microphone array, which allows it to hear voices and noises and understand where it came from.
What's he used to see?
Vector uses a wide-angle camera.
Why doesn't he fall off the table?
4 drop sensors.
How come he doesn't bump into stuff?
Has this laser distance sensor right here in the front.
Whoa, robot lasers? How do we know he won't use that for evil?
We have a very strict quality control process to make sure that no evil robotic overlords emerge from Vector.
This thing is just awesome.
There's got to be a huge amount of code inside the robot.
There is a huge amount of code inside the robot. It's a few million lines of code at this point. That software really encompasses everything from the character to the low-level operating system to the cloud functionality.
He has a camera in his face, and that's actually one of his primary sensors. Not just capturing the light in all the pixels, but it's making sense of those pixels. He knows what it is and where the stuff is.
That code creates his intelligence and his personality.
We think both about the IQ and the intelligence as well as the EQ and the emotion.
You feel something for him. You bond with him, relate with him, care about him, and you feel that he can relate to you and give you something back.
He is your friend. He was built to help and delight and entertain you.
That is delightful and entertaining. So instead of sitting back and waiting for the robot apocalypse, Anki is making super smart robots built to bring joy and companionship to humans. Did I mention he likes to be pet? I know.
Vector is a really big milestone for robotics because for the first time ever, there will be hundreds of thousands of people living with a robot in their homes, and that has never happened before.
Vector is ready to live in your house. Or at least he will be after this nap. Sweet robot dreams, buddy.
For ages, the dog has been man's best friend. We want to introduce you to man's new best friend. Meet Chip. Chip is a robotic dog that's much more than just a cool gadget. Chip is an interactive pet that's there to greet you at the door. With a smart band, Chip recognizes who his owner is.
Hey, have you seen my other slipper? Have you seen my other slipper?
And shows affection to them when near. Chip is obedient and can follow commands. But he also learns new things, so you can teach him tricks. And the smarter Chip becomes, the more badges he earns. When you like what you see, just press the like button on the band, which can encourage him to behave. Or be a little mischievous. Your choices change Chip's behavior and shapes his personality, so that no two Chips are ever alike. Chip is a connected experience. He has a translator.
What is it, Chip?
So you can understand his thoughts. He comes with his own smart ball, so you can play fetch and stay active together. He also has sensors, so you can maneuver around obstacles with ease. And with the mobile app, you can feed Chip, which shows you care. And that's important, because when you're in need, no matter it big or small, he's there for you. With his beacon sense technology, Chip is fully aware of his surroundings.
Seriously, no one's seen it? This is like the 5th time.
He even knows how to return to his bed when it's time for a charge, so he never runs out of energy. Chip is a smart device. Chip is a robot. Chip is a dog. But most importantly, Chip is a friend. The best kind.